The El Chapo trial turned into a soap opera as the drug kingpin's messages with his wife and mistress were read out to the room. An FBI agent detailed how the agency was able to read thousands of messages between El Chapo and his wife Emma. It's because El Chapo had his IT guy install spyware on his wife's phone, and then the IT guy flipped.
In the exchanges, the drug kingpin warns his wife of police raids, discusses drug shipments, and even says he'll give their daughter an AK-47. Oh, that's a lovely gift for a child. But his wife wasn't the only one who had their phone bugged. There was a list of people that El Chapo was following, including his mistress. Her name is Augusta Acosta. In those messages, the FBI learned how El Chapo bought his chemicals from China and Germany and smuggled his drugs into the U.S. through Arizona. So joining us now is criminal defense lawyer and former prosecutor Vinoo Varghese. Vinoo, you've been following this case for us. So we've got the wife, we've got the mistress, we've got a host of other people that we have now been able to listen to. Just how important were these messages? And I was actually surprised how much business was discussed with his wife and mistress.
Well, I think the first thing is that the NRA should now have El Chapo as a poster child for itself.
Clearly.
Right? Wanting to give his daughter an AK-47 at 18 months. These text messages were important. I mean, the amount of discussion between them, because it seems like his wife was very involved in things, or at least knowing about things. She was very concerned, and he was always trying to reassure her. At one point, he says to her, "Vivir una vida normal" means live a normal life, right? And
that's easier said than done, I think.
But that's not what she signed up for when she married El Chapo, right? So these text messages are harmful. I mean, the thing about it is that what ultimately is going to bring down El Chapo was his need to listen to other people, right? So he installed all this intricate software. He had his IT guy, which you've talked about yesterday, install all this software. And that's what ultimately is bringing him down, because now you have all these phone conversations involving El Chapo, talking about drugs. So, you know, this evidence is going to be extremely difficult for the defense to get over. But I think the route is still going to be what was El Chapo's role? Remember, El Mayo has still not been brought to justice, and so I think that's still going to be the tack that, you know, in essence, he was there but not the main guy.
Emma Coronel previously said she had no idea about his drug operations, but the evidence says otherwise. So can the FBI bring charges against her?
I mean, they could, but I don't think she was knowing and actually being involved are two different things.
Wait, did I miss who Emma Coronel was? Who's Emma Coronel?
The wife.
The wife. Oh, her name.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's her last name. Oh, I thought her last name would be El Chapo or something along those lines.
Mrs. El Chapo.
We've been calling her by her first name.
Mrs. Shorty. Well, actually, the interesting part about that was that yesterday during the readback of some of the text messages between him and the mistress, you know, who's referred to as the wild beast at some point. You know, it's clear that with her discomfort in court, she definitely mistrusts the mistress. You know, so I mean, this is, as you said, this has turned into a soap opera. I do want to give a Ted Cruz another a shout out here. You know, this day 20 of the government shutdown. This actually has a direct impact on this trial. The prosecutors are working without being paid. So they're working. I mean, I have friends who are federal prosecutors that tell me we haven't been gotten paid. So, but the judge, I mean, I really do respect Judge Kogan. Judges are actually getting paid because there was an act of Congress that allowed judges to continue to get paid through the government shutdown. But prosecutors and agents, they're not getting paid. So this trial is going on, and you have only essential services being utilized. So there's going to be cutbacks in the court while this case is going on.
So El Chapo is one nickname that he's known, which is not a particularly flattering nickname, but there were all kinds of nicknames being thrown around, including several for him.
Right. So there are different nicknames, such as El Rapido, because that was there. He got that name because of the speed in which he transported cocaine throughout the country. He was known as El Arquitecto because of his leadership of the Sinaloa cartel. People were impressed with his mastery of logistics and organizing myriad smuggling routes. He was also known as Inge, which is short for ingeniero, which is the engineer, because he was able to do all of this stuff. Another nickname was the tunnel guy. You know, he was known as the tunnel guy, and the FBI referred to him as El Jefe, El Señor, the Lord.
Yeah, when you're nicknamed the boss, it's hard to argue that you're not actually the boss.
Yeah, but I like the one where, what's the word for dwarf? I guess that was one of those, too.
That's what,
that's probably not by a supporter.
Hey, listen, this IT guy, right? I mean, do we know why he sort of turned against the Sinaloa cartel? I mean, he wasn't really doing anything illegal, or was he? I don't know.
Well, sure, he's a co-conspirator.
He's a co-conspirator.
He knew.
He can't just say, "Look, I just set up some technology."
He certainly knew what he was doing and why he was doing it. So he's facing, under the conspiracy laws of the United States, the person who's least involved in a conspiracy can get as much jail time as El Chapo. So in essence, and it's I think it's a severe problem with the conspiracy laws, because this is how the government uses the leverage of potential jail time to flip lower level people. That being said, a guy who sets up the whole IT for the Sinaloa cartel isn't necessarily a low level person.
All right. Vinoo Varghese, thank you.
Thanks, Vinoo.
Thank you.